It is rather amusing, isn't it? Well, if we make this coat, it would be as if I were wearing your dog. Woof, woof.
Well, let's get this party started, shall we? I don't have the green that I want, so I'm going to be mixing greens from 3 different palettes: my Jaclyn Hill palette, my Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette, my Urban Decay Born to Run palette, and using these Inglot drops to help mix them all together. After applying Urban Decay eyeshadow base, I am applying a shade called Mirage from Makeup Geek all over my eye, just to set it kind of as a foundation. Then I'm going to add in the crease a shade called Hash Brown from Itsy Cosmetics. And I'm going to make sure that this is well blended in the crease and also build it up as I go. Make sure that you don't rush the process on your blending. Make sure that your eyeshadow is well blended. So I'm gonna follow this color up with a deeper color, which is called Cocoa Bear, also by Makeup Geek. This is one of my favorite colors to wear in fall. I wanted to make sure that this look had fall tones to it, so this is why I chose these colors to go in the crease above the green. Once you have your crease blended and the color built up the way that you want, we can now go in and add the green. You don't have to have Inglot drops to mix up your colors the way that you want. You can use NYX brand mixing medium, which is super affordable. Also, MAC has a mixing medium as well. Now I'm going to take this chocolate shimmery shade by Itsy Cosmetics called Hieroglyph, and I'm going to blend that into the crease just to kind of smoke it out a little bit. And I'm also going to follow that up with a little bit more of Cocoa Bear. And once I feel like I have it blended well, anywhere that I bled over into the green, I'm gonna go back and reinforce the green a little bit. Now I'm taking a black, which is called Corrupt by Makeup Geek. It's an eyeshadow, and I'm just basically putting that in the corner, and then I'm gonna blend it up a little bit, but not too much. Just right there in the outer angle of the eye. Now that I have my upper lid eyeshadow done, I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Tan Sand to help cancel out dark circles and to also help clean up the eyeshadow. I do want to mention all of this creasing in my eyes, and also my foundation didn't come off as flawless as normal. I did some little tip off of TikTok, which I should not have done, and my foundation application just looks wretched, and so does the concealer. To add a little bit of highlighting, I am going in with this Huda Beauty concealer in the shade Granola, and I'm just going to put it in the corner of my eye and then on the outer edge to help, of course, clean up the eyeshadow down my nose, just in the areas that I would want to highlight, and then going in and blending that in. For the concealer under my eyes, you notice that I just put it in the corner, a little bit tap in the center, and then also blending it up. And to set my concealer in all of my highlighted areas, I'm going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I believe I'm using the yellow shade called Honey. And I'm under my eyes. I want to just make sure that I'm being like super careful also because I'm trying to get rid of this creasing. I'm using a dense brush just to kind of pack it under my eyes and make sure that it's lifting up. For the rest, I'll use my Beauty Blender sponge to set areas where I want to get ready to contour and highlight with powder. I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild contour palette in the shade Caramel Toffee. If you know or have watched my makeup videos in the past, you know this is my favorite little contour palette. It's only like $4 by Wet n Wild. I get it from Walmart, Target, and Ulta. It is just super bomb. I love it, and I've been using it for years, and I highly suggest it. So if you've never tried it, I would definitely try. They do have other shades, so just check them out. Once my contouring is done, it's time to go in and bronze. I'm using this bronzer that I got from the beauty supply store. It's a Pro Bronzer by Absolute. You'll notice for my bronzer and my contour, I actually blend all the way down my neck during the sides because it just gives a more cohesive and chiseled look. I'm using this Sigma Cora de Rosa blush today. I believe they don't sell this blush anymore, but I am in love with it. I'm putting it on the high points of my cheekbone and blending it up towards my temple. And this again is to give a more lifted look. Now to add a little bit of illumination, I'm going in with my Lancome highlighter. As you can see, this illuminator is well used. It is literally my all-time favorite, and I use it pretty much with almost every look. I love it, love it, love it. I'll make sure to list everything that I'm using in the description box of this video. Now for my brows, I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow and a super fine little eyeliner brush, and to create like hair-like strokes. For my brows, I'm gonna go in and clean them up with my Tarte Shape Tape and this little brush. I like to keep it clean and allow my brows to still look more natural versus like super carved out. So I do a very thin line under the brow bone, and then on top, the ends or tail ends of my brows, and then allow the rest to be kind of fluffy. And then you'll see in the area where I went a little too far with my little, brush stroke. So I'm gonna clean that area up, and then also take that square look off the edge of the brows at the top. To set everything in place, I'm going in with my NYX Set It Don't Fret It Matte Finishing Powder. I live by this powder. It's like a staple literally with every makeup application. It blends everything together. If you have oily skin, I highly recommend this. It keeps your makeup in place all day. I'll follow up by illuminating using my Lancome illuminator under the brow bone and in the high points and places where I want the light to hit naturally. And then to give myself this glow, I'm going in with this OM Glow setting spray. It gives me like this glowy, shimmery skin. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with her products. She's Black owned, and I will make sure to link everything again in my description box. So now we're gonna go and do the lower lid. I'm smoking it out with the green that we have on our lid, and then of course with black, just kind of to give it more of that gothic Cruella look. To highlight my inner corner, I'm using a Makeup Geek pigment in the shade Afterglow, and then I'm going to enhance my waterline with a black liner. Then in the inner corners, using that same brush that I used for my eyebrows, cleaned of course, I'm going to highlight with the white Milk Jumbo NYX pencil. And then with my NYX liquid eyeliner, I'm creating a wing liner, and since I got so much makeup on my lashes, I'm going in with my Urban Decay Perversion mascara to enhance. Of course, you know my all-time favorite, the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. Now we get to the fun part, which I'm so excited about. I found this face and body paint set on Amazon, and I loved it because it has the big pot of the black and white, which is so needed for this look and many more. Also, it came with these brushes and some decals. So I'm taking the largest brush in the pack, and I'm gonna start with the body paint first, which my idea was to create it as if Cruella was so obsessed with the Dalmatians that she literally is bleeding Dalmatian and also has sewn herself into a cloak of Dalmatian fur. So it's basically like she stitched it on to herself because she could not wait for the coat. If that gives you any context, that was what my idea was. So I'm taking the white, and I'm actually carving out little patches. They don't have to be perfect. I'm just filling them in and making sure that they look opaque, and then we're gonna outline them in black. So as I have my patches done, I'm now going to go in with a smaller eyeshadow brush and make some little Dalmatian dots with the black paint. I'm just kind of basically splotching them on there. They don't have to be any perfect size or shape, because of course Dalmatian spots are all kinds of sizes and shapes. So I'm just kind of getting them in there in the patches, and then I'm gonna go back and then reinforce them to make sure that the color is showing up better, and then of course increasing the size on some of my dots. So now that I have all of my dots reinforced and looking more opaque, I'm now taking a brush and a little bit of the red paint, and I'm going to trace out the top of my painted on cloak to give it a little more style and a pop of color. So now that my cloak is traced out, I'm going to take that black paint and one of the smaller brushes in the pack and begin to outline or trace in the white patches that I created. Now that my patches are all traced in, I'm going to create some X shapes or X marks randomly on my shawl across the edges of it and the red to make it look as though it was stitched in. And to make sure that my patches have more of a 3D effect and look much more defined, I'm taking this Revlon black eyeliner and I'm just tracing over the outer lines, and you see how it gives it more of a defined look. So I'm doing that for all of my patches. I'm going to go over the X's and actually kind of color in some of my black dots as well to make it all come together. To finish the makeup portion of the look, I'm taking this Urban Decay matte red lipstick in the shade 714, and I'm going to make sure that it looks opaque and create a Cupid's bow, because mine is always lacking. And to give it more of a bit of a glossy effect and enhance the red as if it needs it, I'm topping it off with this Collab liquid lipstick from Sally Beauty. As you can see, the liquid lipstick over the red matte lip gives me more of a plump lipped look, which is what I wanted, and it makes the red like super poppy, which is also what I wanted. And this is the final look of the makeup portion, and now we add the wig and voila. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and love this Cruella Deville look. I thought it was something fun, a very last minute DIY quick look that you can throw together. As you can see, the only thing you really had to buy was possibly body paint and a wig. Everything else, I think you should be good to go. If you do or recreate this look, please make sure that you tag me in your photos, because I would love to see them at Tia Kirby on Instagram. I don't know if you noticed my Dalmatian nails, but yes, I did record the tutorial for those, so stay tuned for that video to come. See you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, the devil take it, they're mongrels. No spots at all. What a horrid little white rat. They're not mongrels. They'll get their spots. Just wait and see.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll take them all, the whole litter. Just name your price, dear.